Hello and welcome back to the last video of the course. I read over your responses about the last chapter of Hilton, and you're digging into some really important and really abstract ideas about the discourses against racism. And if I were to boil down Hilton's argument, I believe what he's saying is that the anti-racism that he sees is the way people talk about anti-racism is too simple and reductive of a solution for a very complex problem. And there are many ways to talk about how racism is complex, and two of them, one of them that he uses early on is racialization, right? It's a process that's always happening, so we have to always be engaged with it, and a simple solution doesn't stay engaged with it. We can also think about this, instead of racism being a thing, that there are many types of racism, many racisms, racism in the plural, and that we need many different anti-racisms to combat against that. And so he's not seeing the complexity of racism being dealt with in these discourses of anti-racism. So great job on Hilton. I know these were his writings were hard to get a hold of a lot of times because he uses such specific language. He is a sociologist, and he uses a lot of language from critical theory as well. The last assignment that we're going to do, hopefully, is a fun assignment. I chose a graphic novel, Jam Tales from the World of Roller Derby, for you to read, and I want to open it up and let you respond to the graphic novel in the way that you see fit. Now, I would caution against trying to respond to everything. Read through it and pick one of the short stories to respond to, or the short stories. There are several of them, but you can, instead of just responding to the story, right, you can also respond to how the images, the colors used, and that sort of thing, because it is a graphic novel. We have another dimension to analyze. So read through those, which I believe graphic artists worked with roller girls to compose this, and some of them are fairly realistic depictions of scenarios that could and probably did happen. Some of them are pretty outlandish and speculative, but choose one, respond to it in a good substantive response, and then make sure, as always with the discussion board post, to respond to two other posts, that we have a good conversation going. And you can tie this back to anything we've read, or you could come at it from a different angle. But I think this is a fun text to engage with, especially after we've done all the hard work of looking at the theory with Hilton and looking at the history of roller derby. So I'm pleased with everybody's enthusiasm for the class, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you have any, if you want to respond to me about particular things that worked well for the class or didn't work well, do me a favor and evaluate my class. If you go to eval.ou.edu, and I'll provide that link with the email, you can evaluate my class and let me know what worked for you and what didn't. And feel free to be honest. I use the student feedback to really change how I do my classes. All right, it's been a great class, and if you see me around campus, feel free to get my attention. I won't notice you because I haven't seen you guys, but if you do notice me, feel free to get my attention. I would be happy to stop and talk with you. All right, I will see you guys around campus.